Hi everybody, I just wanted to jump on and give you an update as to how we're going to proceed with DEA 125. By now you know that our President Andy Dorsey has sent out an email stating that the campus is closed until April 11th. I'm not sure what that looks like given that Larimer County has now issued a stay-at-home order at least until April 17th, and that could possibly be extended. So for right now, the way we're going to run DEA 125 radiology is all of the lecture will be online, and when we're able to get back on campus safely, then you will go ahead and at that time practice your skills and test out of those skills that we require. So again, this isn't ideal, but we will make the best of with what we have, and hopefully we'll get through this together. With that being said, I am creating weekly modules in D2L, and within those modules I've put quick links to be able for you to access things very easily rather than you having to click into activities and go into either assignments or quizzes. You can just click on the link from there, from that main page in the course materials content, and access the information from there. I do want you to be aware of the due dates. I've sort of broken down the class into over the course of a week. So you're going to have activities on things due on Monday, you're going to have things due on Wednesday, and you're going to have things due on Friday. So I want you to make sure that you're paying attention to those due dates and making sure that you're turning things in when you are supposed to. I've hopefully made your assignments a little bit easier because I've used the quiz tool. Please know that those are not quizzes. They are assignments. I've labeled them activities, and you're going to do one basically for each chapter, and you're going to go in there and answer questions. I have incorporated some video in certain questions, so I advise that you watch the video before answering the question. And just know that there's some additional information that I'm sharing in those videos that may not be specifically pertaining to that question, but it's information that you will need to know for either the exam or your final. I've made those activities unlimited, so you can go back in there as many times as you want to and retake it until you get 100%. I encourage you that once you've submitted your quiz, you go back and you review it. Once you submit it, it gives you an opportunity to, I believe, to go back to that quiz, and you can look through to see all the questions that you missed. I also encourage you to look at the feedback. I've put feedback in for whether you got the question correct or incorrect, and I would recommend that you look over to see what that information is, because it's just providing you with additional or a little bit more information as to why that answer you chose is correct. And again, I want you to make sure that you have an understanding of this content. So again, as you're going back and reviewing to see what you missed, you're also taking a look at the feedback for every single question. And I'm going to encourage that for each of your activities, for each of the chapters. And then also for the quizzes as well, you can do that as well. But the only difference between your activities and quizzes is you don't have the opportunity with your quiz or exams to retake them. So the grade you get is going to be the grade that you get. So I would suggest that you spend some time looking over your information. You are going to have to either create an outline for yourself or jot down some notes as you're going through some of this material. Develop flashcards, whatever you need to do to make studying a little bit easier for you. Again, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to bombard you with lectures upon, or hours and hours upon lecture. So a lot of this, it's going to require you to really be diligent and look in your book to find the answer. You're actually going to have to probably read a little bit of your chapters to know what type of information is in it, and also where to find it when you're answering the questions. There is no time limit for your activities, and again, you can go back in and retake it as many times as you want until you get that 100%, and I encourage you to do that. Your scores will be averaged, but once you get 100%, that is going to increase your average based on, and I'm hoping that each time you're taking it, your score is going up and up and up. So again, that is something I will highly encourage that you do, is to continue to take it until you basically have quizzed to mastery by getting that 100%. Let's see, what else do I need to make sure that you know? Again, be mindful of due dates. There's going to be some discussion questions that I'm going to be asking. Some are going to have to be completed by a certain time, so make sure you're looking at that. And some are going to be maybe you post a response and then you reply to one or two of your classmates. But all of that information is going to be in each weekly module as far as what is going to be expected of you for that week. I'm also going to incorporate checklists into each module, so that's a way for you to also keep track of what you've already completed and just to know what you still need to do. You don't have to use a checklist, but again, it's meant to be a tool for you to keep track for yourself, so that you're staying on track of what's due and when and all of that, and you're not getting confused. So if you have questions, again, email me. I will be checking both my D2L and also my Front Range email. I will be online pretty much all day, every day, with the exception of weekends. So if you do have a question or a concern, please feel free to email me at either D2L or Front Range email, and I will get back to you. My policy is going to be within 24 hours, but if I see the response or the question, I will reply to it immediately. If there's, for some reason, maybe I'm not able to be online one day or an afternoon, then please know that that's when it may take a little bit longer for a response to come in. So if it's something that's a little bit more urgent, and maybe for some of you that are still have the opportunity to still be working, and maybe you want to jump on first thing in the morning and finish your activity that you need to do for that chapter, just in the event that you are unable to get out of work on time, or you are working a little bit later that day, you don't want to miss the deadline, and for some reason you're not able to open it up, then please text me and let me know what's going on, and I will jump right on and see if I can remedy the situation and get that up and going for you. We're going to have to be patient with each other. Technology is great, but sometimes it doesn't work the way we anticipate. So we just have to be kind of patient with ourselves and not get frustrated or upset. So again, I'm going to also put in D2L under discussions just a general area where you can ask questions. If you maybe read some material or content and you're not quite sure how to take it, or you just have a specific question that you want answered, that is a place that you can go to and post your question, and anybody in the class can certainly jump on and respond to that. So I would advise that you take advantage of that. That kind of gives us an opportunity to still interact with each other, even though we're not face to face. I'm going to be monitoring that, so if I feel the need to jump in, I certainly will, and I will reply with a response as well. But I encourage you to check that and reach out and provide an answer to maybe a question that a classmate has asked. So I think that's it. If you have questions or are unsure about anything, please reach out to me, and I will hopefully can clarify things for you. This is, again, just an unusual time for us. It was something that kind of was very unexpected, none of us planned for, and we need to just make sure that we're doing our part to ensure that the spread of COVID-19, it stops, and that it doesn't continue to just spread like a wildfire. So hopefully that you are being mindful of the orders to stay home, and that if you are going out, that you are practicing social distancing, and that you and your family are staying healthy. And again, if you just need to talk or to vent, I am planning on doing weekly check-ins. Right now, I think I'm going to plan on doing those every Thursday, just to jump on, probably via Zoom. So please look out for the link in your D2L email. I'll be providing specific times for each of you just to determine what time is going to work best for each of you. I might actually send out a poll to determine what might be a better time for you to be able to jump on for 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, however long you want. I'm here for you. So if you are really struggling with things and just need to vent or to talk, just want you to know that we can certainly use that time to do so. I'm kind of using that to kind of check in to make sure you're doing okay personally, as well as you're getting through what you need to and everything's working okay on your end as far as working on your classes that you have online. And just to maybe provide you with maybe some additional information or give you an opportunity to ask questions while I'm there. And I would encourage you that if you do have a webcam, that you use it. If for some reason your computer doesn't have audio or doesn't have a webcam, you can certainly call in and we can do it that way. But if, I'd really like to see you and see your face and just make sure that you're doing okay. So just know that that's what those weekly check-ins are for, is to make sure you're doing okay. One last thing before I go. We were supposed to go on a field trip for an OSHA seminar on April 13th. Because of everything going on, that will not be happening. So it's actually going to be done as a webinar. So if you can please send me a good email address for you. It could be either a Gmail account, an MSN account. It could be your school email if that's the email that you prefer. That way I can submit that to the guest speaker. And when it's time for that webinar it's still going to take place at the same time, the same date, that you're able to jump on and listen in on this very important seminar regarding OSHA and things that we need to make sure that we're doing. I'm sure a lot of questions are going to be asked about COVID-19 and what's all the changes occurring with that and how it's definitely impacting and affecting us as dental professionals, not just now, but potentially how we practice in the future. So please know that is a requirement for you to attend that webinar. Again, it's going to be the same time that it was scheduled for when we were going to do it in person. So you should already have had that marked off of your calendar. That's not changing. And please note that I encourage you to take notes throughout that webinar, because I will be asking you some questions that pertain specifically to things that maybe she was saying. So I just want to make sure that you actually jumped on and were there, you were present, you were paying attention. And again, it's something that, especially as students being new to dentistry and dental assisting, it's very important for you to hear this information. So reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll be in touch soon. Bye-bye.